Alright folks, let's talk about Plato's cave. This ancient allegory is more relevant today than ever before. Imagine a bunch of dudes chained up in a cave staring at shadows on the wall. These shadows are cast by objects behind them, but they can't see those objects. They only see the shadows and believe that's all there is to reality. That's their reality, they think it's all there is. Crazy, right? They don't know any better because they've never seen the real objects, only the shadows. It's like living in a world of illusions. But here's the kicker, Plato says we're like those dudes, stuck in a cave of our own making. We're chained by our perceptions, our limited understanding of the world. We see shadows, illusions, and think it's the real deal. Our screens, our social media feeds, our news channels, they're all casting shadows on the walls of our minds. Think about it. We're bombarded with images, news, and opinions all day long. It's a never-ending stream of information shaping our perceptions and beliefs. It's like a constant stream of shadows shaping how we see the world. We rarely question the reality of what we're seeing, we just accept it as the truth. But what if I told you there's more to life than what's on your screen? What if the shadows we're seeing are just a fraction of the truth? What if there's a whole world out there just waiting to be explored? A world full of real experiences, real connections, and real beauty. It's time to step out of the cave. It's time to see the world for what it truly is. So let's break those chains, step into the light, and embrace the reality beyond the shadows. The journey might be challenging, but the reward is a life lived in truth and clarity. Are you ready to take that step? Let's face it, social media is the ultimate cave. It's like we're all trapped in this digital world, constantly seeking validation and approval from others. We're glued to our phones, scrolling through feeds, comparing ourselves to others. It's become a daily ritual, almost like a habit we can't break. We wake up, check our phones, and before we know it, hours have passed. It's a recipe for disaster. The constant comparison, the endless scrolling, it takes a toll on our mental health. We feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and sometimes even isolated from the real world. We see filtered photos, curated lives, and think everyone's living their best life except us. Those perfect selfies and glamorous photo shoots make us question our own lives. Are we doing enough? Are we good enough? It's like everyone's on a permanent vacation except you. You see people traveling, partying, and having the time of their lives, while you're stuck in your daily routine. It feels like you're missing out on something, but it's all fake. What we see on social media is just a facade. Behind those perfect pictures are hours of editing, countless retakes, and a lot of effort to make everything look flawless. It's a highlight reel of the good times, carefully edited to hide the boring, messy parts of life. We don't see the struggles, the bad days, or the moments of doubt. We only see what people want us to see. We forget that behind every perfect Instagram post is a regular person with their own struggles and insecurities. They have their own battles, just like you and me. So, let's remember to take everything we see online with a grain of salt and focus on living our own authentic lives. So how do we escape this digital cave? How do we break free from the chains of social media and see the world for what it really is? It's a question that many of us have pondered, especially in this age where our lives are so intertwined with our devices. The first step is awareness. We need to realize that we're being played. Social media platforms are designed to keep us hooked, scrolling for hours on end, feeding us content that keeps us engaged, but often leaves us feeling empty. It starts with awareness. Awareness of how these platforms manipulate our attention and emotions. Once we see through the illusion, we can start to question what we see online. We can begin to understand that not everything is as it appears. We need to be skeptical. We need to ask ourselves, is that influencer really that happy? Is that product really that amazing? Are those online reviews genuine or just paid promotions? Social media is designed to keep us hooked, scrolling for hours on end. It's a never-ending cycle of content consumption that can leave us feeling drained and disconnected from the real world. Once we see through the illusion, we can start to question what we see online. We can begin to understand that not everything is as it appears. We can start to make more informed decisions about what we consume and how we spend our time. Is that influencer really that happy? Or are they just putting on a show for the camera? Are they living their best life? Or are they just as lost and confused as the rest of us? Is that product really that amazing, or is it just another piece of junk being hyped up by clever marketing? We need to be critical of what we see and hear online. Remember folks, critical thinking is key. It's the tool that allows us to navigate the digital landscape with a clear mind and a discerning eye. It's what helps us separate fact from fiction, reality from illusion. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. Take a step back, question what you see, and make informed decisions. Your mental health and well-being depend on it. So, let's break free from the digital chains and start living a more mindful, intentional life. Alright, you're ready to ditch the matrix and experience the real world. What's the plan? First, limit your social media use. Set some boundaries. No phones at the dinner table, no scrolling in bed. Second, diversify your feed. Follow people who challenge your views, who make you think. Third, get outside. Go for a walk. Talk to a stranger. Experience the world without a filter. Remember, life's not meant to be lived through a screen. Get out there and make some memories. The real world awaits, like, totally awesome, dude. The real world is way more interesting than your Instagram feed, believe me. It's full of amazing people, breathtaking landscapes, and experiences you can't capture on camera. Remember that concert you missed because you were too busy scrolling through TikTok? Or that sunset you didn't see because you were checking your notifications? Don't let life pass you by. Put down the phone and experience the world with all your senses. Social media detox. Time to unplug and recharge, bro. Feeling overwhelmed by the digital noise? It's time for a social media detox, my friend. Take a break from the constant stream of information and reconnect with yourself. Go for a hike, read a book, or just spend some time in nature. You'll be amazed at how much clearer your mind feels when you're not constantly bombarded with notifications and updates. Finding truth beyond the likes and filters. Look, the truth is out there, but it's not gonna find you while you're busy liking cat videos on Facebook. You gotta go out and seek it. Read books, have conversations, challenge your beliefs, be open to new ideas and perspectives. Remember, truth is like a good conspiracy theory. It's out there, but you gotta dig for it. Embrace reality. It's way more interesting than your feed. So, there you have it, folks. Plato's Cave is a trip, but it's a trip worth taking. Once you see the world beyond the shadows, there's no going back. You'll start to appreciate the little things, the real connections, the beauty of the present moment. So put down your phone, step out of the cave, and embrace reality. It's way more interesting than your feed, I promise. Stay curious, my friends. If Plato were here, he'd say subscribing is the first step out of the cave. Because who needs shadows when you have notifications?